All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house has blessing in your day. By His mercies, you are consumed. We're alive, and the Most High in your house has body too, and that you love. And yeah, I know it's kind of being a dead horse, honestly, but I want to kind of go into I didn't watch it recently, but I just thought about this earlier. Sinners, man. This is the most identical movie review on most parts, man. And so ironically, because more honestly, man, because Book of reason being is that because the Book of Clarence, honestly, because I would expect it, like me personally, we would talk about, especially as brothers and sisters, we would talk about Book of Clarence that came out 2 years ago, 2023, a year or two ago. There would be more I'll be talking about that more on here, but that we would talk about that more here. I gotta stop saying me. We be talking about it more here on here, but honestly, man, but you know what, it was just more of, listen, that was just more honestly just a historical and type of thing. Was there spirit? Well, yes. Was there spiritually? There's spiritually a lot of messages in that movie as well, but I was, to be honest with you now, I wasn't as as deep, I wasn't rooting into focus on witness and testimony and stuff like that as much, but but it was more, that was just more as far as historical, looking how our ancestors, our forefathers, how they lived, and just more of the the historical, for the part of it, things of that nature, I should say. But as far as spiritually, man, I think Sinners, man, it just really had so much, it was layered upon layer with that, man, honestly, man, and because and that's why I think it's probably been the most that we talked about. We done more movie review videos on here, because, man, honestly, but also too, I was just thinking about this earlier, a lot of things, another thing about that movie is as well, even with Smoke and Stack's return, man. They how long were they in Chicago? How long after was it when they returned back to Mississippi? It was 7 years. 7 means is completion, man. So it was elements of that, and also too, Luke 15, the prodigal son type of elements as well. There were there was those kind of elements as well in it, but but they weren't doing it in righteousness, of course. They just opened up a juke joint. That's it. But of course, because they were sinners, of course, and everything that happened to everybody in that movie was because they were sinners. And where's that at? Where's that at? What you call it? Ecclesiastes. Or was that you pursue sinners? Where's that at? Um, That's something I'm looking for. Hold on, y'all. This wasn't the one, but it's somewhere in Proverbs where it says evil pursues or trouble follows sinners, pretty much, man. Because sometimes you got people in the world that say he's always troubles always follow me. Now, get to it, man. This is not always judgment per se, because sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Because some people, we know some people, they just can't catch a break. But then again, that's where that self-examination does kick in. Especially if we're especially in the Word, but even outside the Word, But that's neither here nor there. But I want to get in this Ecclesiastes chapter 20, verse 5, because I didn't think about this till now. It says, there is a sinner that had good success in evil things, and there's a gain that turned into a loss. See, that's actually another key thing in the movie, because even them in the movie, right? Because they're relatively successful. Well, see, it was unjust gain how they got it. So it was everything that was happened, in that movie was bound to happen, man. Because how they got it through unjust gain by robbing the mafia, Irish and Italian mobs, what Smoke and Stack did. So that's how it is. And everybody in the movie was pretty much a sinner, man. Pretty much. Now on the natural tip, was there some good to them? Yeah, yeah, but pretty much everybody in there was a sinner, honestly. But also too, I was just thinking about this as well, man. Let's get to Matthew 16, because Elijah, Yahushua was people thought they thought Yahushua was like one of the prophets. He got one of the prophets. They thought it was of course Elijah. Now of course not them reincarnated nonsense stuff. But yeah, that's just is what it is. But there's other reasons for that too. But we just saying it in this context. But even Elijah, even Smoke, like he plays like a Yahushua type of like archetype in sense in the movie. Like they want to kind of had that, because also too, especially in the end, because listen, actually no, in the end that goes into honestly killing off the old man, honestly, because remember at the end in the when the dream when the wife his wife or his woman is pregnant with his child, man, she said, listen, you could come join us as a as Elijah, not Smoke. So pretty much killing off the old man. So yeah, that's that aspect of that too. But let's get this in Matthew 16, because we're gonna get this also too, how this relates to John the Baptist as well. Like because John the Baptist, he had the same spirit as Elijah. He wasn't Elijah reincarnated and all this other stuff. But we talked about that in the past. But yeah, man, that's just it is what it is, man. Matthew chapter 16 verse 14. It says, no, 16 verse 14. I'm sorry. It says, Matthew chapter 16 verse 13. It says, when Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked one of his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I the Son of Man am? And they said, some say thou art John the Baptist, some Elijah, or Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. Because the reason why they said Elijah and Jeremiah, because shout out to Brother Simi first for pointing this out, because they would correct and rebuke the rulers directly, just like how Jeremiah did. He went to rulers and kings directly, so did Elijah. Like he did that, and Yahushua did the same thing as well. He went to them, the Pharisees, the scribes, and everybody directly. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why that was said. But also too, we see this. Let's read this again. It says, and they did some say thou art John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, one of the one of the prophets. So see here. But y'all notice in the end of the movie, if y'all haven't seen the movie, of course it's online now. I could put the link in the thing. But if y'all haven't seen the movie, right after Romnick or the pretty much Satan or the beast baptizes Sammy, what you call him, Elijah character play, Smoke or Elijah, he kills the beast, and pretty much going into how how the Most High and Elijah, meaning Yahweh or the Most High is my power, the Most High Yahweh is my power, the Most High is my power. How he's gonna kill the beast and Satan at the end. Pretty much that's what that was meant to represent. Actually, earlier in the movie when he cut the head off the serpent, that was foreshadowed, man. Pretty much in Yahweh, what Yahweh said in Luke 10, he gave those that believe, gave us power. Those that believe, did them over serpents and scorpions, things of nature. That was about. But pretty much that, and that was a foreshadow of what he would do at the end with the Romnick or the Edomite that played the actually too, the son of perdition is going to come out of Edom. Doesn't matter what skin tone or things of that nature. It doesn't matter what he is, because because I'm of the belief that Esau or Edom is a so-called Caucasian or so-called origin of white people or the Caucasian per se, man. But but still, there could still be a dark skinned Edomite. So that pretty much don't, we always say, man, about Esau on here, man. Like the brother sent me first one said, don't be like that, man. What do you think, he was a so-called dark skinned man, Jake, or Arab, or so-called or Edomite, or Caucasian? Just don't be like that, man. Honestly, but that goes to show you too that the son of the perdition, the beast, would come out of the line of Edom as well. But But also too, and going into back to the point with that, that also relates to that, because notice that after how he Romnick or Satan or after he baptized what you call Sammy, and he recites the Lord's Prayer, Elijah or Smoke kills him at the end. But it's too, and that's why we're bringing this up. How and what was John the Baptist doing? he was baptizing people, and and like we said earlier, how Smoke was kind of being the representative, a little bit of a how shall Christ type of figure, in that and his name was Elijah, and that's why Elijah, like we just read, how Elijah was, how some people thought that Yahushua was like one Elijah, but not the whole reincarnation thing, but that's just is what it is, man. But that's just is what it is too. That's something I just noticed. So I was just thinking about after the baptism as well. John the Baptist was baptizing people. So after he baptized him, Elijah kills Satan, kills the beast, man. So yeah, man, I just want to go into that movie, but man, notice how it was really a key thing in that movie was they returned after 7 years, and that means, but that could be because on the left hand side, like in the Command Babylon Mystery School system, 7 has a meaning, but on the right hand side too, 7 of course is completion as well, man. So, so yeah, and that is what it is, man. So, yeah, man, that's why even too, that's why even Revelation, of course, the 7 spirits of Most High, 7 is completion. But notice one of the things they said in the movie, like Stack says the Smoke in the movie, he said, "You think after 7 years they forgot about the name of the twins, man, of the Smoking Stack of the twins?" And they did, man. Just like that Most High House Shot, man. Like the world's never going to forget the name of them because they live forever, and the word lived forever, man. So that's what it is, man. Maybe I don't know, man. That's just me, man. That's how I see it, man. Because like me, honestly, like Yahushua said, Most High Yahushua in Proverbs 3:6 said, acknowledging them in all your ways, and also too, like Yahushua said, my words are spirit, man. So watching and listening to things with spiritual eyes and ears, man. So hopefully this is edifying. So peace.